Well, you think your physical media is going to last you forever? Well, you're completely wrong, my friend, because my DVDs have been failing just like your physical media will soon. In today's physical media news topic video, we talk about how your disc will eventually fail no matter what you do. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and we break down the exact reasons why today. So we get into a massive rant why some people are putting too much praise on physical media instead of actually caring about the movies themselves and understanding their discs actually have a shelf life. And of course, talking about the future of collecting physical media. How should you be a better collector and movie watcher going forward? How could you protect your disc the best you can to preserve it as long as possible? But first, you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of the physical media collecting movement. You're in the right spot, my mega collecting friend. Go ahead and make a blockbuster that like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you're alerted when a physical media news entertainment topic video breaks. Of course, leave in the comments below, has your physical media ever failed you? Give us some of those stories of when those discs have not worked. Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. But let's get into this. So, blockbustering into the news here, I got to share some super sad stories with you guys today. Just to start it off, I did not think I was ever going to be making a video like this. As you guys know, I have supported physical media for the longest time, and I absolutely love collecting physical media out there. And I really think there's some great quality things to physical media discs when played properly, but there have been some issues that have come up that I have not seen before. And it was, wow, a shock moment when I realized that I plugged in a DVD and the disc did not work. It was really unfortunate. It sucked. The disc would no longer play for some weird reason. I don't even know really what it was, but one year it was working. The next year it wasn't. Even though I kept it in good condition in a nice box, it was in a room where it was kind of controlled the temperatures and it was decently preserved, or at least I thought. But for some reason, when I put in the disc, it just wouldn't play. It could not read it correctly, and it wasn't an issue with the player. I tried other DVDs from the same box set, same franchise, no problem there. I've tried, of course, Blu-rays, 4Ks, all great. They don't have the issues that this one had. So I realized that this DVD was just the beginning of what was going to happen next. And if you were wondering, actually, one of my favorite movies of all time, I try to give this a few rewatches here and there, rewatch it maybe every couple of years. Tomorrow Never Dies. My personal favorite 007 movie. I just love the opening here. And of course, Michelle Yeoh can't do better than that. But yeah, have a great time with this movie. So I was ready to watch it, get pumped, and boom, it just would not play. It could not be read anymore, and it was super weird. It's worked plenty of times before, never had issues with this DVD before, but now it just doesn't work. And it's a regular looking DVD. There's no issues as I can tell apart from it. I mean, it's just, these discs, I take them out and it should play fine, right? Like, I shouldn't have any issues with the movie itself. I mean, there you go. Basic DVD. There might be a couple dust little bites on it right now. But other than that, the DVD should work. I cleaned it with a microfiber, cloth, like a disc cleaner cloth. That's supposed to be used for, disc when you need to get off kind of the dust and the particles. So I did it safe, of course, the cleaning after I found it wasn't working. That didn't help at all, unfortunately, with this disc. That's worked on my other disc before where it does let them play, but for some reason that disc just stopped working. And I've been hearing a lot of these issues out there, guys, where people will try these DVDs years later and they're not playing anymore, they're not working. And yeah, sometimes there's like disc rot going on and things like that, but for some reason these discs are not going to work forever. And I came to that realization when my DVD did not work, even though I took pretty darn good care of it, and it still just didn't work. So it made me realize that there is a shelf life here to these discs, to these DVDs, especially. Now, maybe Blu-rays do a little bit better because they have a protective coating, but we know the problems with 4Ks. I mean, you get one little dust or scratch on there, those things are gone forever, right? I mean, sometimes they just freeze completely and won't keep playing. So that's a big problem with 4Ks. But DVDs, I thought it was safe, and I realized no, the DVDs are actually going to just deteriorate over time or just not be able to be playable. Like I said, I kept mine in good conditions and it stopped working. I couldn't play it anymore for one of my favorite movies of all time. So this was just a big shock and realization that, yes, even if you keep good care of your physical media, you keep it clean, you keep it, in their protective cases. I mean, you do your best you can. Eventually, these DVDs or movies in general, because I think the same thing might happen to Blu-ray later on. It may take more time, but I think these discs are going to eventually fail on us. Eventually. Now, of course, there's things you can do to take care of them to make sure they last longer. I'll talk about that in another segment. But yeah, no matter what, eventually these discs will stop working. So physical media is not forever, even though some people want to chant it to the high heavens that physical media is the be all end all, that nobody can hurt your physical media. It's there forever as long as it's on its shelf. And that is just not the case. Sometimes these discs do absolutely fail, and it's not a matter of if anymore, it is a matter of when. It may take 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but eventually these discs will fail. And that is a realization we all have to get to, because if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And it's been reported out there from several people, several sources, that they've had similar issues where discs just stop working. They don't play anymore. They don't work on their players, but other movies do. It's just certain discs will stop working. And it's not just one in particular. Like I said, it could be from anywhere where there's an issue and a disc just doesn't work anymore when it used to. And that's the sucky thing. Whatever is going on there is totally unfortunate. I'm sad to see that this has happened to me, that this happening to other collectors and other people out there that just want to play a movie and they finally get to play. At least I got to watch that a whole bunch of times before it stopped working on me. But what if you didn't? What if you didn't get that to happen? Wow, that would have really sucked. That leads us into our massive rant next. So it's time for a massive rant on why these discs cannot be a retirement plan, guys. Oh my gosh, I hear it all the time. People will just collect and buy every single movie. The fear of missing out. They're like, I'll get to it later. I'll watch the movie in 10, 20, 30 years from now. It's part of my retirement plan. When I have all that time freed up, I'm going to watch all these movies I collected over the years. But dude, do you know that your disc may not even play later on? Like, you may pull it off the shelf and that disc may not work. So you may have never got to watch that movie on that disc, and that absolutely sucks. So when people tell me, oh, I'm just collecting the stuff right now, I'll watch the movies later when I get to it. Well, later may not happen for that disc. That disc may not be able to be played later on because it's deteriorated in some way. And like I said, I kept pretty good care of those discs, and for some reason, it still just doesn't play. It got messed up for some weird reason, and I cannot explain it. Like I said, I didn't see any major scratches on it. I was always careful taking in and out the disc. It kept in a good kind of temperature controlled environment for the most part. Like, there was no weird weather conditions going around all around the disc. I mean, I don't know what got this disc to stop playing. And like I said, the player's fine. I've tried other DVDs from that box set even work, but that one just didn't. So that just tells me that yes, the time will run out on these discs. Yes, it's gonna happen with DVDs first. Blu-rays, I do think, will last a little bit longer because of their protective coating. They seem to be a little bit more durable, which I do love, but I think it might happen to the Blu-rays later on in life. It could be 50 years from now, but I do think so, for some reason the Blu-rays will stop being able to play, and that's going to suck. And we already know, like I said, with 4Ks, we have issues right out of the box with them. Once again, you got one little speck of dust on it and may not play, which is a massive problem in itself. But I thought we were safe with the Blu-rays, but now I'm even questioning that because the DVDs are failing. And it's like, oh my gosh, this takes us back to the day when you would have a VHS and those would get messed up all the time. Oh my gosh, you would play it and it would get worn out as you played it more times. But once again, we never thought DVDs were going to be the similar issues where they're just not going to be able to be played anymore. But it's happening. I have the proof right here, guys. This is happening, and it's not just me. It's not just a weird freak incident. I've heard other reports from other people saying that they've tried DVDs, they pulled off the shelf, it used to work, no longer works anymore, and this absolutely sucks. Like I said, I don't want to dampen anybody's day and say, oh, your physical media is just gonna be destroyed by the end of this, right? But I mean, everything I guess has a time limit, and so does the physical media disc. They are eventually not going to be able to be played, whatever disc you have. It's not a matter of if anymore, guys. It's a matter of when. It's going to run out. Now, once again, it may take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years from now, right? It might be different for different discs for different movies, but eventually these discs will stop working. So they are not forever. So it shouldn't be a part of this big retirement plan. You got to be watching these movies and enjoying these movies now while they actually play, because maybe one day they will stop being to be able to be played, and that would absolutely suck. Like I said, if I could have got a few more watches out of one of my favorite movies of all time, I would have absolutely loved that. Heck, not the end of the world. I can always upgrade this, to a Blu-ray, or they're probably gonna come out with a 4K now, which I can definitely get to. But let's talk about the future here. How can we better protect our discs and make sure they play long run? But now let's talk about the future. Is there anything to make sure these discs last as long as possible? Absolutely, as long as possible is the key, though, because forever just isn't going to happen for these discs. I mean, that's just a part of their disc life. Eventually, they won't be able to be played. But what can we do as collectors, consumers, to protect our disc for as long as possible? Well, you got to be careful when you take them in and out of the case. You don't want to be getting scratches on them, of course. Now, also in and out of the player is very important as well. Now, if they do get some dust particles on it and you need to clean them, you got to get the approved microfiber kind of cleaning cloths that are made for discs. Find those really easy. I've gotten them myself, and they're actually not too expensive. So those help as well when you do need to clean them. Obviously, you don't want to over clean the disc and cause damages yourself with that. So that's kind of, a last ditch effort for me, that we got to make sure those discs are cleaned and will play. So I always use that as kind of a last resort. But other than that, you just got to keep them in their packaging until you're ready to play them. Don't leave them out somewhere, because any kind of weather condition that comes through, the heat will get those discs and freaking melt them. It will, even just a little bit of heat can mess them up. So you don't want to have your disc in a hot room, especially high up. That heat will rise and it can definitely hurt the disc. Same with an overly cold room, or moisture, humidity. That water will really damage the disc and definitely shorten the disc lifespan. So that totally sucks as well. So you got to really keep it in a temperature controlled environment, those discs. Keep them in their packages until they're ready to be played. Keep them protected as possible. Clean them properly, not incorrectly. If you do all those things, I think your disc will last a decently long time. Now, once again, it's going to be different from disc to disc, because once again, maybe there was a manufacturing error with it. I mean, we can't control that, right? But from disc to disc, maybe it will last another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I don't know. We're going to have to see how all this stuff goes and test out these discs in that time to let you guys know, hey, which ones are failing more than the others. Like I said, hopefully Blu-rays last longer with their protective coating. I think we will get more decades out of those, but I think DVDs are definitely doomed. I think Blu-rays need to be on the lookout. Like I said, we already know the issues with 4Ks. They sometimes just have issues coming out of the box. Even though I love all these three formats, if you collect any of these formats, that is great. You're supporting physical media, which is still the best way to watch a movie at home for home entertainment value. The disc quality, when it does work, is incredible. It's just better than streaming right now and, watching it in a different way. Unless, of course, you get to go to the theater, see it on the big screen. But home entertainment wise, the discs are the best quality when they play. But once again, we're talking about when they don't play. Yeah, we got to be cautious of that. We got to be ready for that. I don't want people just to collect all this stuff and then one day they wake up 30 years later, they say, I'm finally retired. Let's plug in some of these discs, and none of their discs work. And they're super shocked. They're like, I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars acquiring all this stuff, and now this stuff doesn't even play, and I can't even enjoy these movies. Just want people to watch their movies while they have them. You get those discs in, watch them before they get on the shelf, just so you get least some kind of viewing out of them. And then if you get back to them later on, that's great as well. Of course, we want to rewatch them when we can. But try to get your views while you can out of those discs, because you just don't know when they will stop working. And that's just the facts of it, unfortunately. But we can still celebrate physical media and enjoy it while we have it. And of course, watch it while it still plays. But once again, I think this was an important, serious conversation we needed to have as a physical media collecting industry. Because I see so many people that don't watch their disc and they're just collecting dust. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they may not even work in the future. Play the disc, right? Watch the movie, have a good time, set it in your schedule, budget your time. And hey, if you need to pause getting more movies to watch some of your movies, then do what you got to do. But we got to watch these discs and really use them as they were meant to be used with this physical media collecting world. Hopefully, we can do that together and spread the word that these discs will not last forever. So enjoy them while you can. That's what it's all about, right? Of course, go ahead and leave in the comments below. Have your discs ever stopped working for any reason? What are some of those titles? What are some of those movies you're like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I can't watch this anymore. Or maybe you've heard stories out there where discs have not worked. Let's share it down below. I want to get more data. I want to get more input from your guys, more testimonies out there of, hey, what's going on with these discs no longer working, or at least a good chunk of them that gets us worried. So we'll have those fun movie conversations down below. Let's respond to each other. That's how we build this physical media collecting community. Let's hit the likes on everybody's comment, hit the likes on the videos, turn on that subscription notification bell if you haven't already. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the major physical media news of the world, guys. We just have a great time watching and talking our movies, of course. And hype up this video, hype it up, get on the leaderboards so we grow this physical media collecting community. And of course, have a great day watching and talking your movies. You love this physical media topic, go ahead and make a blockbuster the next video and watch all the way through right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.